Oh, shit.
Yo, hold up real quick.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
It's good to see you.
Good to see you
Is the
too.
clerk available?
Let me go check one moment.
Hi.
Hi.
So I just asked for her. You can stand there and wait. She's coming out.
Hi.
Hello. Hey, are you the city clerk?
I am.
Oh, hey, I got some paperwork for you.
I don't have my glasses. Hold on.
Okay, gotcha.
Sorry. I'm really. Do you want me to take it? Yeah, you can. If you want, but... Come on.
Hello.
Are you the deputy clerk or?
No.
Okay. Yeah, that'll work.
Are you a chief clerk or deputy clerk?
I'm a deputy clerk.
Oh, okay. Hey, I got some paperwork for you. So I need that's a piece of paper. I need a summons. So that's a federal civil rights lawsuit.
Oh, for the courthouse?
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta file it with the courthouse?
Yeah, it is filed. I have to serve you. So this right here, this is me, and then in there, the envelope that contains it. The documents.
Just take it?
Yeah.
It's a federal civil rights lawsuit I filed against the city of Wasilla. And he's giving you guys service right now.
Oh, we've
Yeah.
never done this
Yeah.
before, so. Okay.
No, you're good.
Do you want anything
And
else?
I
from
think
me?
all he needs is a name.
Yeah, I
name,
just need
Sarah?
Sarah
Sarah, and your,
Stanifer.
Stanifer.
And
your-
I'm Jamie Newman.
and
Okay.
your position, clerk, deputy clerk.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
And then how do you spell your name?
Newman?
Yeah.
Or Jamie?
Both.
Well, JamieneWman, traditional spelling.
Okay. And then I'm sorry, your name?
Sarah, with an H.
How do you spell it?
Sarah.
Okay. And then last name?
Stanifer?
Okay.
Stanifer.
Okay. Yeah, that'll do.
Traditional
Thank you.
spellings. Thank you, guys.
I haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
It's good to see you.
Well, thank you.
We're gonna take a look. You guys get new microphones?
A while ago.
Looks like it. Yeah. Got a bunch of new stuff, huh? New chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you've
Looks
been
good.
in since then.
Oh, really?
We've had the mics for a
Oh,
long
okay.
Yeah.
Is Chief
Yeah.
of Police gonna be here?
Yeah, we've had the chairs probably since 2015.
When does he
okay,
usually
okay,
show up?
yeah.
So, probably closer to the meeting.
Thank you.
Because it starts at
Appreciate
6.
it.
There's a
Oh.
council meeting tonight.
Oh,
Did
okay.
you know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then how long do they usually last?
It depends on what they have to discuss. There's quite a few.
Is that the agenda? Is that the agenda?
There's quite a few presentations, so it might be a while. Might be a late one.
Thank
Okay.
you. Appreciate it.
Sarah, do you want to help me with the copies? Sure. Okay. Are you guys all set?
We're good.
Yeah, we're
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Well, I gotta take a picture of you. That takes care of that. So that's done. So, where's public comment? I don't see public comment. Public participation right here. Public hearing, 3 minutes per person. Persons to be heard, 3 minutes per person. I don't understand. Public hearing, public to be heard. Consent agenda, minutes of. You could tell she recognized me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take a tour.
Okay.
I'm
let's do
taking
it.
that with me. Person to be. Oh, right there. I'm gonna sign up. Yeah, let's go take a look.
Let's do it.
No, those are new microphones. Those are nice.
Look big.
Holy shit, dude. So, and then this shows Bill Rapson, so
Bill
not
Rapson.
William Rapson. Public Works Director. These are all new plates.
Wow. Recreation consultant.
City attorney.
City attorney. Actually, yeah, no. This is useful to have all this.
2 Graham, council member. Council member. Okay, city clerk. So that's her, right?
Jamie Newman.
Yeah. Okay, and then here's the mayor, and then. So that's how you spell her name. Right there. Just in case, I want to make sure we get this right.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. And the mayor, council member. And this is good because if we ever need to look them up on their website, we can look up their names because now we got it on record. You know what I mean? Here, hold
Yeah,
that,
this
hold
way.
that for a second. I want to put this in my pocket. Let's go upstairs. They usually have it locked up. Hello.
Hi.
How are you today?
Good, how are you?
Good.
great.
It's good to see you.
You too.
Those are like new desks.
How are you guys?
I'm Brandon.
I'm Robin.
Is this new? The desks and the microphones? Oh, they look new. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Have you got permission to film in here?
Oh, I don't need permission.
We don't need permission.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see.
Okay.
Thank you. Do I need permission if that's the mayor, by the way?
That's the mayor.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Yep.
I did not know that. I'm gonna have to make a complaint.
City council regular meeting agenda explained. City council wants the city council regular meeting agenda. Items for introduction. I told you she's a bitch.
Dude, I'm filing a complaint on you.
told you,
If we
bro.
stay here long enough,
I told you, bro.
I'm getting a complaint for her.
I told you. See, that's her right there.
This is gonna be my first. Oh.
Wicked Witch of Wasilla. And then
Glenda
there's
D.
council meeting, council seat A.
Okay, that is her.
City council E, city council D. See, I haven't been in here, bro, in like 3 years.
Wow.
So that's why she doesn't recognize me.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, see? Restricted. And that's the door I was telling you about. That door that used to be there.
Wow.
Boiler room. I'm just kind of being a dick. I just want to film everything just to be a
Yeah.
dick.
Dude, yo, if I file a complaint on her, that's gonna be the first mayor I file a complaint on.
She's a bitch, dude. I'm telling you. And I know we're recording right now, and I know that's on record, but she's nasty, bro.
Yeah. You ready to fill this out? I'm ready to fill this.
Yeah. Let's do it right
When
here.
someone comes by, I'll just put the cameras up.
So, someone's for, and then put the summons for individual or title. I would just put City of Wasilla.
How you spell Wasilla?
Wasilla. WASI.
Are you sure there's
Wait a
not
minute.
two S's? Because I
Right here,
always,
right
I
here.
always have to relook it up. Okay. Wasilla is one of those words. Wasilla, City of Wasilla.
Just put City of Wasilla.
Okay, City
Yeah.
of Wasilla.
And then you can put their individual names wherever that last one was. Name of organization. Oh shit, maybe we did that backwards. So maybe this was supposed to be their names, and this was supposed to be City of Wasilla. I'll just fill it out now. We can always we can always redo it. I mean, it's not critical that it's. You know.
And today is the 23rd.
Today is 23. It is 2/23.
2/23.
2026.
2026. Dude, I'm finally gonna complain.
She's a bitch,
When
dude.
someone comes
I told
back
you.
out, I'm asking for
I
a
told you,
complaint.
bro. These guys see why? Do you see now why I filed the fucking lawsuit? Because I don't want him to get away with it.
Wasilla City Hall.
Yeah, City Hall.
I personally
HALL.
served the summons on the individual at.
Wasilla City Hall. Just yeah, and then we can do the address later.
Yeah.
It might be here actually.
Because I gotta go federal courthouse and turn this in.
Yeah.
So what was I saying? Wasilla what?
Wasilla City Hall.
Wasilla
It's
City Hall.
CITYHALL.
Wasilla City Hall.
Did you see her? We'll see about that.
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to film
Dude.
in here? What'd she say? Did you get permission to film in here?
Yeah.
I don't need permission.
Yeah.
Didn't I,
dude.
is that what I said? I don't need permission?
I don't know, dude. I was gonna file one on the chickie, but you know, he's all the way down there. But this, dude.
Oh my god, my glasses are running, dude. I love it. Hold it down for 3 seconds and it should turn them on. Do you have a red light? You should have a red light right there.
Oh, wait.
Batteries are
No,
dead.
I saw it right
oh,
here.
there you
I
go.
forgot.
Now hit it. Tap it once.
Blink. There we go. It's blinking.
Is it still blinking? Look
Yeah.
at it. I don't think it's
Oh,
still.
wait.
I don't think it's still
It's
blinking.
right here.
It turned off. I think he took a photo. Okay, now
Okay.
tap it again. That's a photo. Now tap the other button.
There we go.
Nope, you just turned it off. Dude, she's such a bitch, dude. Oh my god. I can't get over how fucking much of a bitch she is.
Yeah, I'm filing a complaint on her.
Yeah. I think we should hang out for the meeting, dude. Just to drive her nuts.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see about that.
She's gonna throw a fit.
Do you hear her?
But they're in there talking right now, and they're explaining to her.
Yeah. Did you hear her? We'll see about that.
I didn't expect that.
You allowed to film in here? You're fucking damn right I am.
Yeah.
It's a public building. They closed all this down, bro. All of this. This door you hear is usually locked. You can't come in here. You can't access this office.
I've delivered here. I had to go
You had to go
upstairs,
all
and
the
I
way
had a
around.
hard time getting in here too.
You had
I
to go
remember.
all the way around.
I couldn't figure it out honestly how to get in here.
You had to go to the back office.
I
because
had
they
to go to
closed.
that hallway, I
Yes,
believe.
I know. Now tap. Hold down the one you started with. Hold that one down. Yeah. And I just turned it off. You might have to fuck with that
Yeah,
later. You might
yeah,
have to fuck with that
yeah.
later. Yeah.
I got this down, not those. Okay, so
I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
okay, where are you gonna be?
I'm just gonna go to the bathroom real quick.
There's a men's
I don't really-
bathroom.
I don't really want to go to the bathroom. I kind of want to wait for her to come
There's
back
a
out.
men's bathroom over there.
Well, I think there's one here. No, that just goes upstairs. But I know there's one over here, right there. Yeah, see?
Oh, okay. He's got them both marked.
Yeah, right there. She's such a bitch, dude.
Yeah.
When making public, oh, here we go. This ought to be good. Please state and spell your name for the record. State if you are a city or borough resident. State if you are in favor or opposed to the item you are speaking about during your comments. Green light means speak and sign up. Hmm. You know what's funny, bro? We're not allowed to record in here, but they are.
Yeah.
There's a camera there. There's a camera over there.
How long has she been the mayor?
For as long as I can remember.
Snap. How long can mayors be mayors? 4 years?
8 years.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. A while.
So I can say both city clerks.
Yeah. City clerk and deputy. Just write down their titles of what they have up here. Fuck, you could just sit down right there, bro, and fill it out.
Yeah.
Because you got her there, and then right here, you got the other one right there.
I serve the summon on names of individuals. Sarah.
Oh, dude.
Huh.
She's just now being told about this. I bet you.
She is.
I bet you, dude.
She is.
I bet you.
She may come out and be nice. Who knows?
I bet you she's just now hearing about it. Oh, look at all this. This makes them mad. Yeah, I think all these are new, bro.
They look like it. Okay, so.
Whose seat is this? Right here?
Here?
Is that the clerk? Yeah.
Yeah, city clerk.
Okay.
City clerk.
So she's the one that runs the microphone.
Now for this, yeah, I'm basically gonna have to go off the line, so I'll put both of them because both of them were here. So,
I would.
or should I give it? Okay.
I would put both of them. How much you want to bet the police chief shows up?
Are you taking a picture of me? Hopefully you're taking a picture of me. Oh, are you videotaping the meeting? Okay. That
Yeah.
makes sense. Sorry. Clearly, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Are you the city attorney?
I am the city attorney.
Nice to meet you. My
Nice
name's
to meet you.
my
Good to
name's
see
Brandon.
you.
Brandon?
Brandon
Nice to
Waller.
meet
Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm sure you've probably heard of me.
you. I'm like,
News Now Alaska.
what?
News Now Alaska.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm
It's been a while. How long have you been the city attorney for?
It's been a while.
Has it been a while?
I don't actually know, but I think
Over
maybe
3?
off the top of my head, I'm gonna say maybe. Gosh,
More than 3 years?
more than 3 years.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Are these all new, by the way? These microphones and the table,
No, I don't
these,
think
this
so.
all looks brand new. It's nice.
No, I think it's always.
It's fancy.
They might have. I don't know if they upgraded their. I don't pay
Those look-
attention on the tech.
Those look very
So
expensive.
I feel like I'm not sure, but I know these link into the system, so that.
Well, it's weird because these are green, and yours and this one are yellow.
Well, I don't want the lawyer talking any more than they have to. So
Oh,
that's fine. No,
oh.
I'm just kidding.
I thought it was I thought maybe the batteries were getting low on them.
Oh, that's probably
Because
it. I
the-
really don't. I was
Right by the power button, it's got a little power symbol there.
bad lawyer.
No, you're good.
I think we're actually starting to get some daylight. Isn't
I
it?
know,
It's-
yeah,
it's
I'm-
start- like this morning, it was like red in the
Yep.
sky instead of.
At least it's not 40 below.
No, and the temperature's going up.
Yeah,
I'm really
I'm loving it.
relieved. It's big shift.
Are you guys a municipality?
Yes, we're a, Wasilla is a first class city. So there's, like, I don't know if you know this, there's different classes of boroughs and cities. So if there's home rule cities, they can do just about anything they want to, right? In the scheme of things, within the confines of the law. But first class is, and then there's second class, which is.
What would
usually
Palmer be?
much smaller cities.
What would Palmer be? They're smaller.
Palmer, so this is an interesting thing. I'm pretty sure, I'll have to look up, I think Palmer is home rule. Let me see.
So Wasilla's not a bureau.
No,
No.
no.
Not a-
Bureaus.
They're within the
So it's a-
Kenai Peninsula
Bureau, yeah.
Okay, it's
It's
a-
like Kenai. It's like the Kenai Peninsula Borough, Matsu Borough, two separate. Anchorage is a municipality,
Yeah.
which is different than a borough.
Yeah,
Okay.
so Palmer is a home rule municipality, so it all depends on, the population of first class and home rule, there's not really a difference, but it's just choice, really,
Hmm.
what they wanna be able to do, government-wise.
Hmm.
So, it's interesting, cause Alaska's a little different than a lot of places.
Yeah. I'm originally from Oregon, so
I
we
wonder
have-
what's the Oregon system like?
we have. It's been a long time. It's been 25 years. County.
Okay,
I think,
so similar,
like
the
Multon-
counties are like our boroughs, kind
Yeah,
of,
like
right?
Multnomah County would be Kenai Peninsula Bureau, Matsu Borough. I think it's the same thing. It's been a while since I moved up here. I've been up here 25 years, so.
Hi, Holly. Yeah, I'll come visit. I'll just, I was terrified of traffic, and every other time I tried to drive.
Hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. Hey, could you get me a complaint form, please?
Yeah, the chief will not be here tonight, sir.
Okay, it's not for him, it's for someone else.
But I just
Yeah.
wanted to let you know, because before. I
Oh,
did,
okay. Gotcha. Did he call in sick or?
I don't know.
Okay, he called though and said he can't show up today.
The mayor told us he wasn't gonna be here this evening.
Okay.
So I'll go get that for you, okay?
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you guys.
Hey, good to
too.
see you.
Thank you.
Later.
You heard of me? News Now Alaska. Oh.
I don't know. And I want to redo Just like make it
Yeah. I got
nice and neat.
I got like 3 of those in my briefcase.
Gotcha. So did you hear?
Hmm.
The police chief's not coming.
Oh, of course not. Didn't the mayor just say that he's
Yeah,
not?
yeah, the mayor told me.
It's because I'm here.
Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm. I told you. Yeah. And she just found out, so she called the police chief.
She did.
Yeah, she just found out about this.
Mm-hmm.
So she probably called the police chief and said, you probably shouldn't show up because Brandon's here. Because they're a bunch of cowards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The date. Is this when I turn it in? I think that's when I turn it in.
I think that's today, the day you fill it out. I could be wrong, but
I'll put something I can ask.
this computer looks brand new. It's nice.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
That's
Got
good.
here faster than I thought I would.
Yeah, traffic.
I used to always worry about traffic, so I left a little earlier than I
Do you work here?
I'm the auditor,
Oh, auditor.
Oh, nice.
the CPA that comes and checks the books every year. So
Oh.
I'm presenting to the council.
That's funny. I'm an auditor too.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For what?
I'm a First Amendment auditor.
Oh, great.
Government accountability activist.
Okay.
I check up on the government.
So you audit their books and stuff and make sure basically no one's stealing,
Yeah, but
right?
I prefer you not videotaping, please.
Okay, sorry about that. And wait, you're a city employee here?
I am not.
Okay.
But you're hired through the city.
I'm presenting here, so I'll be on the agenda.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome. That is not the temperature outside. Oh, that's got to be inside.
Yeah, it's
71
inside.
degrees. I was going to say it is not 71 degrees outside.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I go outside, I'm afraid that they're going to, if we both go outside, I'm afraid that they're going to lock us out. So I'm going to go outside. Are you going to stay in here?
Mhm.
Okay, because I'm going to go out and grab my briefcase and my cell phone,
Okay.
my tripod. So don't leave this room.
Okay.
Okay.
Over here. So, with complaints with mayors, you guys usually hand it to the mayor, or in that case, you guys hand it to somebody else?
It would all go to the mayor's over personnel, so if it's,
The mayor's city manager.
yes. we're
Okay.
mayor yes, so it's just like a city manager.
So if you file a complaint on the mayor, then it goes to the city manager.
Oh, you wanna file a complaint about the mayor?
Yeah, yeah. That's what the complaint will be for. And I'll have to go in there and then see everything that she said.
So would that be with the city manager?
So we're a mayor form of government, so she is the city manager.
Okay.
So,
I thought you guys had a city manager.
no, you might be
Oh.
thinking of Palmer.
No, I met the city manager.
I thought you guys had.
Oh,
Her
are you
office is-
thinking of
her
the
o-
deputy administrator?
Her office is right next door to hers. Yeah,
have a
that's
deputy
it. That's it. Yeah.
administrator. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. Technically, she's the city manager.
Hold on.
Okay.
Thank you. Do you remember what she said?
She said that the city manager.
Oh no, when she came out here and for the complaint.
Oh, she asked if we had permission to film. I said I don't need it, and she said we'll see about that. I think that's what she said.
Yeah, yeah.
So, why don't you make the complaint to the council? this evening.
Hello, Miss Joy.
Or you can write them
How are you?
I'm gonna need it stamped and received.
Okay.
Yeah.
Finish it up and then I'll stamp it and
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah. Cool. How are you doing? I'm good. Oh, that's a map. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
It's light and easy to clean.
That's cool.
I like wool. Is Ted gonna be here tonight?
I think so.
Oh, hey, Mark, how are you?
Good. Hello. Good.
So we have this, they have this, and then they have the civil law report and the appraisal. This is the one I'll pay most attention to, but they should all have. I think they do.
Yeah, we can squeeze that in somewhere. Who am I talking to again? Oh, Eric, yeah. For some reason, you're not saved to my computer or my phone anymore. Did you get a new number?
I thought we were gonna put, I would assume we were putting that one up. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Will that work?
What do you want from me tomorrow?
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, come see me. Yeah, for sure, I know people. Cool.
Does he have to? Sir?
Okay,
she's not
well, I'll save this
comfortable
to your
with
new
you
number.
taking her photograph.
She's the mayor, right?
Does she just not?
She's not comfortable with me taking her photograph. You're the mayor. You don't have a choice.
Well, she's also a human being and an individual.
She's the mayor.
Yes, she is.
She's got photos all over the internet of her.
I'm just sharing.
You should be proud that you're the mayor and not hide from it. Oh, that's going to make a great thumbnail. Thank you.
Hey, Mark.
Took my chair.
Did you hear that?
No.
Did you hear that?
How are you doing?
She's not comfortable with you taking her picture. And I said, she's the mayor, right? She says, yes, but she's not comfortable with you taking her picture. I said, too bad. She's the mayor.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Yeah.
I put my lipstick on in case you want to take
Oh,
my
you always
picture.
look good. You don't need to do that.
I've had 3 weeks off this year already.
It's tough when you've been off and you come back.
Oh, who am I sending this out?
Oh, yes.
Coffee.
Ian,
Oh, you?
but he's gonna call in.
Dude, your camera gets the attention, dude. Like
That's why I got it.
City, when you wear it.
Mm-hmm. Look at her looking right at me.
Mm-hmm.
You don't feel. I don't feel comfortable. Boom. Boom. I was like, oh, thank you. That's a great thumbnail. She's like, oh. You see my video of her? She looks bad, dude. You need to watch it. You'll understand why she doesn't want me taking pictures of it. I called her the Wicked Witch of Wasilla in the video. I think it was.
You think I'm forgetting anything here?
No, you're forgetting to take a photo of it.
Okay, copy anyway.
Same day, but different stuff.
I need the stamped and received.
If you come to cause trouble,
So, right here, this is public comment.
Change of the seats.
You're still my neighbor, but
Still your neighbor.
If you wish to address the council,
move around the corner. I almost had it there.
Oh, yeah. Good company.
I was probably 30.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
They forgot kind of where it was. And then it's like, because the last time I ever been was there, you know.
I'm still learning the rules of public meetings.
Well, I told her at the first one. Maybe it's 3, but let's look on. Is he going? You walk over, you go, if you're on the west side of the building, you're going.
He was walking around like he was lost.
It's like there's no door on the other side, you know? Yeah. Yeah, sitting over there.
Just,
So you guys are real exciting.
Lots of reports. Yeah. How was Ann now? Oh, it's good, good. Oh, thank you.
yeah, I know, something lower this chair. Feel like a little kid.
so I don't know if the microphone picked that up, but the mayor does not want to be photographed. She says she doesn't feel comfortable.
And Sarah sent me a message that they did it, and it was nice to see. I was snagging my tools all the time. I'm glad I'm just really very, very well. Oh, gosh.
What I would do.
oh my goodness.
Hey, never let it be said that, never let it be said that I don't buy stuff on clearance for my mayor.
Exactly. That's awesome. Did you take it up?
Well, actually, no, I didn't. I gave it to.
So I guess I'll go get my bipod.
Yeah, I think this is Lieutenant.
Oh, and it's not out of date. It's August the 8th.
Because he just put his stuff right here where the chief's supposed to sit.
Yeah.
Hello, you work with Wasilla PD?
I do.
Oh, what's your rank, sir?
Lieutenant.
Lieutenant? Lieutenant who?
I'm sorry?
Lieutenant who?
Lieutenant right here.
Oh, you're here because Chief called in? Can't make it?
Yeah, I'm just here when he's not.
Gotcha. Okay. I'll be right back. So I'll leave. Do you want to take a look at this?
I'd bring this. I'll do this later. I'd
Okay.
like to use this as a rough draft.
Yeah.
Just stick it in your car, but make sure you flip it upside down.
Gotcha.
Exactly, that's what we go to.
I gotta go back out there. I forgot to complain.
What was your name again? Lieutenant Rager? Reed Rager. I'm Brandon Lawler. Nice to meet you.
It's ready.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Stamp it and make a copy and bring it back.
oh, that'd be great. Yeah, exactly what I want. Thank you. Oh.
How are you guys today?
Oh, good. How about you?
Good. I'm Stu Graham, one of the
Hey.
council people. You are
Good to see you. Robin.
Robin?
Yeah.
What are you? What are you
Oh, I'm with Alaska Audits.
I'm sorry?
I'm with Alaska Audits.
Oh, okay. Good. And you,
Brandon, nice to meet
Brandon? Also the same?
you. News Now Alaska.
What's that?
News Now Alaska. Yep. I'm the one that just filed a federal lawsuit on the city.
You're always welcome here at City Council.
I just served
Appreciate it.
It's good to have you guys.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
Would you like a copy? Just for reading material?
Yeah, if you can
I've
drop
got-
it off for me. or
I've got a
give me the
copy
code.
here if you want.
Oh, if you got one.
Yeah.
Good. I thought you were going to have to go make a copy. I appreciate it.
Yep.
Thanks for taking it.
Can you do me a favor and put
Sure.
your name and
Oh,
contact information on there, or is it already on there?
should be on here already.
All right, well, it's on there. I'll take your word for it.
Right there.
Perfect.
Phone number, email.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
If you guys get too bored and fall asleep, let us know.
Wake us
No,
up.
thanks, man.
Shake me.
Good, sir. How are you today?
Okay, she's about to come back with my complaint.
Did she file? Is she filing that or?
Yeah, just getting stamped right now.
Okay. Can you believe she said that? I don't feel
surprised
comfortable being filmed.
Hey, thank you so much. Hey, appreciate it.
Very good.
Look how fake she is. The mayor. See how fake she is? She's all nice and everything.
Mm-hmm.
She's so fake, dude.
That's the first complaint on the mayor.
Huh?
That's the first.
I'm gonna go.
Ready for everybody, so we have more time.
Always. Good to see you.
Hey, Rabbi. I'm good. How are you? Very well. Good. Good. And you've been busy. Yes. I know. I follow you on Facebook. Oh, we'll get started here.
Good to have you here. I bought that from hopefully good community
The February 23rd, 2026 regular meeting of the City Council of Wasilla will now come to order. The time is 6 p.m. Before we begin, I kindly ask all council members to silence and put away cell phones. If you need to step away or attend to personal matters, please make a motion to recess. For those participating by phone, please keep your device muted unless you are speaking. When speaking, kindly state your name for the benefit of those viewing the live stream. As a reminder, the meeting is being broadcast live. The camera is located above the clock at the back of the council chambers. Our proceedings follow Robert's Rules of Orders as set forth in Wasilla Municipal Code 2.04.090. To promote an orderly and respectful meeting, I respectfully ask the council to observe the following rules. Please seek recognition before speaking. No member may speak more than twice on the same motion without a vote to suspend the rules. No member may speak a second time until all who wish to speak have had an opportunity to do so. These guidelines help ensure fairness, efficiency, and mutual respect during our discussions. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Councilmember Hall.
Here.
Councilmember Graham.
Here.
Councilmember Schmidt.
Here.
Councilmember Clapton, are you online?
Yeah.
Thank you. Councilmember Johnson.
Here.
Councilmember Rubio.
Here.
You do have a quorum, Madam Mayor. All members are with us in chambers except Councilmember Clapton, who is participating telephonically.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and Councilmember Johnson, would you please lead us?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The first item of business is approval of the agenda. Before changes are discussed, are there conflicts of interest to declare? Hearing none, are there changes to the agenda? The only change I have is to strike the executive session. Are there others?
Madam Mayor, I move 10.1, presentation of fiscal year 2025 comprehensive annual financial audit by Joy Mariner, to 6.1.
Madam Mayor, tributary to the body, and then all subsequent reports will be moved down. So we'll start with Joy, so we'll end up with 6 reports.
So, is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Madam Mayor, I move to approve the agenda as amended.
Is there a second?
Rubio seconds.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the agenda is approved as amended. We are now to special orders of the day. There is one proclamation that I will read. City of Wasilla proclamation recognizing Education and Sharing Day. Whereas education, the cornerstone of a strong and free society, determines what we know and shapes who we are. In that light, education is more than the mere transmission of facts and figures. Rather, it must prepare children for a life of responsibility and purpose, forming and strengthening their moral character. And whereas a global spiritual leader and leading advocate for the advancement of education, the Rabbi Mechem M. Schneerson stressed that a moral and ethical education empowers every individual to realize their full potential and make the world a better place. Such an education can nurture the unity of diverse people through encouraging increased acts of goodness and kindness, imbued with the awareness that even a single positive act of an individual can change the world and usher in an era of global peace. And whereas March 29th, 2026 will mark 124 years since the Rebbe's birth. From childhood, he envisioned a world of peace, tranquility for all, and advanced the sacred responsibilities and ethical values known as 7 Noah laws that have formed the bedrock of society since the dawn of civilization. To honor the Creator, respect life, reject violence, act honestly, value family, promote generosity, and build a just and moral society. And whereas Education and Sharing Day is observed each year on the Rebbe's birthday in recognition of his outstanding and lasting contributions toward the improvement of education, morality, and acts of charity to ensure our youth have the foundation necessary through the world, a day to pause and reflect on our responsibility to lead lives rich in purpose and fulfillment through service and good works. Now therefore I, Glenda D. Ledford, Mayor of Wasilla, Alaska, do hereby proclaim Sunday, March 29th, 2026 to be Education and Sharing Day in the city of Wasilla, Alaska, and call upon government officials, educators, volunteers, and citizens to reach out to those within your communities and work to create a better, brighter, and more hopeful future for all. Dated this 23rd day of February, 2026. Rabbi, it's my pleasure to present you with proclamations.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Mayor and the City Council, for this special honor. In 1978, the U.S. Congress designated Education and Sharing Day on the Rebbe's birthday, which always is celebrated 4 days before Passover, which this year, that will be on Sunday, March 29th, as a time to pause and recognize our responsibility to ensure that our young people have the foundations necessary to lead lives rich in purpose and fulfillment. From childhood, as you just heard in the proclamation, the Rebbe envisioned a world of peace and tranquility for all and advanced the sacred responsibilities and ethical values known as the seven Noahide laws, as instructed to Noah by God, and again
I've
at
never
Mount
met the
Sinai to
lieutenant before.
Moses,
He's new.
which have formed the bedrock of society since the dawn of civilization. These have many details, but in a nutshell, they are, as you just heard, to honor the Creator, respect life, reject violence, act honestly, value family, promote generosity, and build a just and moral society. The Rebbe teaches that education in general should not be limited to the acquisition of knowledge and preparation for a career. Instead, education should place more emphasis on building character, with emphasis on moral and ethical values. Education and Sharing Day is about creating conversations. Is it about conversations we have with our children around the dinner table, conversations we have with our students in the classrooms, and the conversations we have day in and day out that can have an impact on the hearts and minds of our young ones. Here in the Matsu Borough, all public schools begin each day with 60 seconds of quiet, a moment which neither teachers nor administrators are to instruct the students what to do. It is simply a time of silence. This presents a valuable opportunity for parents to discuss with their children how to use that moment meaningfully. At the start of the day, when minds and hearts are fresh, what thoughts should they focus on? How can they set positive tone for the day ahead? These discussions help lay foundations for children's studies, interactions, and personal growth. The Rebbe emphasizes that the key to moral and ethical behavior is instilling in the students the awareness that there's an eye that sees and an ear that hears. The Creator and Master of the universe who watches over each individual and cares about their thoughts, words, and actions. This understanding reassures children that they are never alone and encourages them to act with kindness, responsibility, and integrity. By beginning the day with these thoughts, students are more likely to make good choices, speak with sensitivity, and treat others with compassion. People are more influenced by the things they do than the knowledge they are taught. Therefore, beyond conversations, it is important to promote these ideas through action. In 1974, the Rebbe introduced a charity campaign. This was not a fundraiser for a specific cause or a call for philanthropists to write large checks. Instead, it was a grassroots campaign to train us all to become givers. The idea is simple. Set aside a box in your home or in your office as a charity box and start off the day by giving a small amount to charity. Children should have their own charity boxes and they should be encouraged to give charity every day. This will educate them to have empathy and care for others. The key is to do this on a consistent basis. Beyond the value of the accumulated charity money benefiting worthy causes, the hand becomes a giving hand, and one becomes a giver as a result. Which therefore, when I finish these words, I will gift each one of you, as I do each year, with a special giving box, and everyone, whoever like in the crowd, to take home. So although March 29th has been set aside as Education and Sharing Day, its theme and message is relevant every day of the year. Even today, let us reflect on our collective obligation and opportunity to enhance the true education of our children, to serve as proper role models, and to take concrete actions to bring more goodness and kindness into our world. And may God bless each one of your efforts to make a brighter future for everyone here in this city of Wasilla and beyond. And may the merit of your crucial work bring God's blessings into your personal lives as well, for good health, success, and happiness. And may our collective efforts perfect the world and make this world a place of goodness and godliness, hasten the arrival of the ultimate redemption through the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days. Amen. I wait for that each year. You do pretty good. Maybe you get a people class.
Hello. Oh,
Oh, that's
Avriti Alapanim.
Wow, not bad. It's even better than I thought. Mr. Bell, see you next.
Okay, we are now at Commission and Agencies Report. Madam Clerk, would you please read the first one?
Sure, thank you, Madam Mayor. We'll begin with our audit report, presentation of fiscal year 2025 comprehensive annual financial audit, and that's Joy Mariner, BDO USA, which is the city's audit firm. So thank you, Joy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and City Council. Always a pleasure to be here with you. Joy Mariner, I recognize, I think, everyone's faces, but it's lovely to be with you again. I want to just start out by reminding you I work for you as a City Council, and so it's really helpful for me that I can come and present the audit results to you. You have 3 items in your packet this month. One is the audited financial statements, which we call the annual comprehensive financial report. And the second is the audit results, which is what I'll be starting with here. It looks like this. And then the third item is the single audit report, which I'll summarize in my report, but not open. So with that, I'll start with the audit results. And if it's okay with the mayor, if there are questions that you have, please direct them to me. I'm happy to answer them along the way. Love this to be a conversation. It'll be fairly straightforward and brief this year because the audit just overall went very well. And here we are, way before the deadline, having it submitted to you all. And we did finish this audit very timely this year. I was really excited for the results. So let's cover a few highlights. First off, the audit was completed for 2025. I like to remind you here in this first bullet point, the objective of an audit. It's to obtain a reasonable, not absolute assurance. So we're looking for things that might have a material impact on the financial statement. So our opinion says that the financials are free of material misstatements. And so I always just remind everybody, we didn't test everything. You don't want to pay for me to come in and test everything. But the audit standards are designed for us to assess areas of higher risk, pay more attention to areas that may be of higher risk. And we do things like send independent third-party confirmations to, say, your banks or your attorneys. We also, and the granting agencies. We pick samples of pretty much every single transaction has a chance of being selected for testing. And then we're going to focus our efforts on areas that we think are higher risk. We did, you can see here in the third and fourth bullet points, we did issue an unmodified or clean opinion on the financial statements and on your compliance with your federal and state grant awards that we audited this year. So clean opinions all around. Those were dated February 6th. And then I'll just say the last thing here, the last bullet point, everything that we needed was available to us. Your team was excellent as usual to work with. We were here on site back in October, November timeframe. But they really prepared things all the way starting from the end of the year in June till we issue and we test your subsequent events in January. So just want to thank them for their efforts this year. Ted has been crucial to your team, stepping in as finance director, and Jackie and her team they do an excellent job throughout the year, which is part of why you can end the audit well. So a couple quick things that we'll talk about. There weren't really any major changes this year. There was two new accounting standards with very minimal impact to you. One, we talked about it last year, is GASB 101 related to changes in leave and how you report compensated absences, like paid sick leave or paid time off, those kinds of things. Because your policy was already in line with GASB 101, it had really very minimal impact, only with some disclosure changes for you. The two areas that we had that we considered to be more risky, or we call it significant risk. This doesn't mean we found anything in these areas, but when we go in to do the audit, we pay pretty close attention to revenue and how revenue gets recognized. Is it recognized in the right period? Are you eligible for those current costs before you recognize the grant revenue? Is the sales tax cut off correct? Those kinds of things. And then we also look at management override a little more closely. So that would be if something initially got coded over here and later got moved. Should it have been moved? Why was it moved? Is it properly approved? So I just want to kind of make sure you know the areas that we spend more time on. As I said, that doesn't mean we don't also audit the other areas, but these are tested with a little bit more scrutiny. We did have 3 adjustments this year. We call these corrected misstatements. The last 2 relate to leases and have very minimal impact on the statements, but there was still some cleanup on leases coming forward. And then the first one was because there was an asset that was capitalized twice. So your team was very eager to make sure that got capitalized. It ended up just being a mistake. It got capitalized twice. So $92,000 was back out of the water fund for an asset that was done twice on their end. So the financial statements do reflect these adjustments, and they have been corrected in your books and records as well. No uncorrected misstatements this year, things that we found that your team decided not to post, so going forward, nothing carrying into next year either. And then let's talk briefly about internal controls. So internal controls are those checks and balances here at the city to make sure that the books and records throughout the year are correct. If all you had were controls at the very end of the year to fix everything, then it would be hard for you to rely on your financials throughout the year. So we look at what's happening throughout the year. Bank reconciliations being done timely, are they being done correctly? We look at who is an authorized check signer, for example, or who can post journal entries, who can review those. And our role is really to look at risk areas and to determine whether the controls that are key controls, are they well designed? And have they been actually implemented during the year? And so we would ask you as council members to step in and follow up on anything that we consider to be a significant deficiency or material weakness over financial reporting. That's what we call kind of finding, is maybe the wording that you've heard before. Control deficiencies are things that we found them. These are things that we think that you should know about, but not something we think you as the council need to take any action on. We did find a couple of control deficiencies, no findings as it relates to financial reporting. One just relates to leases, and if you remember last year, we actually had to report a finding on leases because there was some lease accounting that was pretty difficult last year. That was corrected. Your lease schedules are really in very good shape now. There were those 2 journal entries I mentioned related to leases. So, our recommendation there is just maybe a completeness check, because there were a couple of small leases that hadn't been pulled in this year, resulting in that change. So, just a little bit more checks of what all the leases are at the city, and really all the employees who are involved in leasing at the city can help your finance team with that.
The second is a repeat of last year. I don't necessarily recommend you change this. You have very good checks over your journal entries outside of the general ledger system. But inside the general ledger system, you do have two positions that have administrator level access. Most of our clients have this. You don't necessarily want to hire a bunch of additional positions just so you can have this remediated. But our recommendation there is you continue to review and approve every journal entry as it is occurring. So just a reminder, strong controls are preventive or detective. Preventive controls obviously are better. For example, you wouldn't want somebody who is entering new vendors and cutting checks to also be a check signer. That would be a preventive control, where they're not a check signer, so they couldn't release funds. Detective controls, though, are also very good. Bank reconciliation, for example, is one. So we just recommend in this position that you would continue to do those detective controls. And then lastly, because of the journal entry we found in that duplicated capital asset, just make sure there's another set of eyes checking those things. And maybe even having that departmental level review is, does this list of assets, after we're done, they do an initial inventory, when the adjustments are done, maybe have another final check on that end of that. I think if it had been any significant amount, it would have probably been flagged pretty early on. We also have the same idea around compliance. So internal control over compliance and laws and regulations. We would report to any instances of non-compliance that we determined with laws or regulations, grant agreements. The only item we found there was one late report. So we did audit two programs. On the federal side, it's the Airport Improvement Program. On the state side, it's the companion grant for the runway extension. I think the federal side, it was $2.5 million of expenditures this year. State side, $3.3 million. One of the quarterly reports for the state was filed late, not very late, but we unfortunately don't get to decide what late is, whether it's a couple days or longer. So we just recommend there's a better calendaring to make sure that those reports are filed on time. Didn't appear to be any implications of them being filed late in terms of compliance, meaning we did not report that as a qualified opinion. The state has indicated you still get your grant money, that the report was filed accurately and without any issue from the state side. On the federal side, we don't have to test whether it was filed on time, but we did not identify any issues. So. Questions on those things before I pivot to just a couple key financial highlights. Okay, so we do have, before we look at the financials, I just want to remind you there's a few things in your statements on the right side of the slide that are estimates, including allowance for uncollectible accounts, your depreciation of your assets, pension liability, which is your largest liability. You can't pay that off. It's based on a state pension actuary. So with that, I want to kind of quickly jump, and I don't know if it's open, maybe? Maybe not. But if you have it on your computers, I want to touch on a few key highlights from the ACFR. Is that possible to put on the screen, or is that? It is in your packet. So just to remind you of what's in here, if you want to look at the table of contents, maybe don't want to look at the table of contents, it's kind of long. But I want to remind you of a couple quick things. One is, at the very beginning, there's a letter of transmittal. It just does a great job of explaining who your city is, what you do, what you have in place here in terms of operations. And then on page 6 to 16 is the management discussion and analysis. You know, I encourage you to read that every year. I'm going to encourage you to read it again. It has really good comparative information from last year to this year, and some explanations for what's happening, say, in your capital assets or in your expenditures. And then I want to cover just a couple of quick pages. Page 18, and again, I apologize if it's not on the screen, that is the statement of net position. And the statement of net position shows you on June 30th your assets, your liabilities, and what we call equity is net position of the government. Just to kind of highlight there, you can see your largest categories of assets are cash and investments and capital assets. Some of those capital assets are depreciated, some not, but your total capital assets this year are about $135 million. So keep in mind that's a really big number. That's in buildings, equipment, the airport, those types of things. And then your liabilities, your largest liability and really your only long-term liability of substance is your net pension liability. You cannot pay that down. It gets paid over the next many years as people retire and move through the pension system. And then what's left over is net position. Your total net position this year at $212 million. That's an increase of about $6.5 million from last year. But that doesn't exactly tell you the whole story. And I just want to touch on a few highlights on your governmental side. So if you can turn with me to page 22. I want to highlight for you the governmental activity, which is most of your activity, your utilities and the airport and the sports center and enterprise funds. Governmental funds, though, this is just going to show you the activity for the year. Total revenues of $37.3 million. In governmental funds, largely based on taxes. Your sales tax is higher than last year, about $500,000 higher, and is your largest source of revenue. And then under expenditures, $30.8 million in total expenditures. Just want to point out that every department stayed within their budget in 2025, and that information's in the back of the statements, and you can read through those details on your own. Overall change in fund balance, $188,000 overall. The general fund at $110,000, and the ending fund balance in the general fund of $56.8 million at the end of 2025. Keep in mind, guys, a lot of that money has been committed. About $38 million of that's been committed by you as the Council for Capital Improvements, and there's other amounts that are designated for certain purposes. So total undesignated fund balance, unassigned, undesignated, is about $15.8 million. I always like to remind people you need working capital. You need to be able to pay your bills before the granting agencies reimburse you. You have to pay your employees. Sometimes you have to pay vendors in advance for things. So, working capital matters a lot. $15 million is, about 6 months. I have to do 6 to 8 months of expenditures sitting in the general fund unassigned, which I feel comfortable with. Anything less than 6 months, I start bringing it up. So I think at this point, it's in a sustainable position.
Yeah.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you. Joe, you mentioned about $38 million in obligated funds. Is it not a coincidence that matches up with what last year's budget was? I mean, so when you say the obligated funds, those are obligated beyond 30th of June, so those would be this fiscal year's obligated funds, is that correct?
It's my understanding, and Ted can correct me if I'm wrong, but the $38 million represents the amount that not necessarily obligated, meaning it doesn't mean you've got the contracts in place, but it would be approved by the council in a capital budget for use on those capital improvements.
Thank you.
And then the last slide, page I'll cover in my very short presentation, which I'm happy to go into more detail on any page that you've been circling and highlighting and writing notes on, is page 26, and this just shows the operating results for the enterprise funds this year. So you can see water, sewer, airport, and the sports center. I spent more time than I care to admit in the sports center. I lost my water bottle there this year. It's kind of my daughter's fault. So total operating losses in those funds is $6.2 million. Say the airport's a bit of an outlier everywhere. You don't expect to be able to recover the full cost of the airport, including depreciation. But your water and sewer utilities do continue to be subsidized with transfers, and the sports center as well. Overall change in that position at $7 million, but keep in mind that includes about $6 million of transfers coming in, $6.5 million of transfers coming in. You did receive, you can see that $5.8 million at the airport. That's the capital contributions between the state and the federal grant, as I mentioned before. But some capital contributions coming in from the other utilities as well. The next page is my favorite page in the whole statement, but nobody else in the, I think probably the city cares about it, and that's the cash flow statement. I just want to point out that the water utility is cash flow positive from operations. The other utilities and the airport, sewer, airport, sports center are negative cash flow from operations, and that has been the case going in the past as well. So there's a lot of other information in here, and your team's put together. If you ever want more detail of, say, salaries in the water utility or budgets in the by department and the general fund. You can find that information in the back. And the very end of the statements are what we call the statistical section. I'm not gonna cover that, but just know that the statistical section actually includes a lot of information, some of which is provided for 10-year history. So if you ever wanna kind of look back at what's been happening at the city over a 10-year period of time, you can find that information in the back, as well as demographic, economic statistics. It's a really good reference document. So if you don't have your hands on one of the really pretty bound ones with the tabs in it, and you wanna put it on your shelf, we are happy to get you a copy. And I do work for you as the council, as I mentioned, so my contact information is at the start of this presentation. If you have questions as you're reviewing this, through the mayor, please reach out to me. I'd be happy to have a chat and we can answer any questions you may have on all these documents. So with that, I'll close and find out if you have any other questions, and just thank you for working with BDO this year. Congratulations to your team for another successful audit.
Thank you, Joy. Now we will hear from Public Works Director Shaw for a report on the Airport Advisory Commission.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Last Thursday, we had our monthly meeting. We did not have any that wanted to speak. We talked about a couple of topics which will interest the council. The master plan is in its final review, so there's a specific Wasilla Airport Master Plan website that hosts all the documents. It's broken down into digestible chunks because it's a very large document. So we talked about that being available and made it clear where they could review that and asked if any of you public might have comments, they could go to that website and make final reviews. We've heard from FAA that they need another week. It closes on the 25th of this week to regular public comments, but FAA needs another week or two before they get us those comments. And then we also talked about a new airplane tracking system that we have at the airport called Aero, which uses ETSB data to help us count the number of operations and helps to dissect that into a really digestible data set that I'll be bringing to the council in the future when we've got a little bit more time on it, but it's working quite well. And we've joined Merrill Field, Ted Stevens, and Palmer Airport in having those systems. So we have a really kind of robust data sharing network with our neighbors. So it was a pretty quick meeting, but we were there to listen to the public if they want to be there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor,
Mr. Johnson.
was there any discussion, apparently there's a ribbon cutting ceremony coming up, is that correct, for a new facility that's opening at the airport? Made an announcement about that?
Yeah, so we didn't talk about it at that meeting, but Silver Skies is going to be having an event at their facility in late April. We can get more information through the mayor to you on that.
Thank you, Eric. We are now at Planning Commission. City Planner Hilliard for a report on the Planning Commission.
Good evening. On February 10th, we had our Planning Commission meeting. Yes.
State your name for the record,
I'm
please.
sorry. My name is Jennifer Hillier. I'm the city planner for Wasilla. We had our Planning Commission meeting on the 10th. It was not short. The commission received a presentation from Public Works, which was the same presentation that was given to you earlier that was the day before, actually. Including updates related to infrastructure, coordination with upcoming transportation projects. We also had a presentation from Matsu Valley Planning Transportation, the MVP, the same presentation that was given to you the day before. We discussed potential scoping comments and future legislative action related to capital improvement priorities. We also had a quasi-judicial public hearing on a CUP for, it was a request for a 24-unit multifamily residential development in a commercially zoned piece of property. The commission received staff analysis, written and oral public testimony, and evaluated the application against the conditional use criteria in Title 16. Following the deliberation, the commission voted to approve the conditional use permit, subject to conditions of approval. And also, the commission reviewed routine communications, including permits and code enforcement updates. Tomorrow we have our regularly scheduled meeting. We will receive the comprehensive plan update, which you'll hear tonight. Also, they'll be considering the resolution recommending support for the Matsu Valley Transportation Improvement Program, which will include improvements to roadway safety, ADA striping, lighting, which I believe also includes the lighting inventory. And there's also a resolution to consider addressing planning commission procedures relating to public oral comment and quasi-judicial hearings, which formally confirms that the planning commission will continue to allow public oral comments during the quasi-judicial hearings, even when no written comments were submitted beforehand. Also, the attorney will be providing commissioner training focused on procedures and roles during planning commission meetings.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
We will now hear from the city contractor, Dow, to receive an update on the comprehensive plan.
Good evening, my name is Laquita Chmielowski. I'm the Land Use Planning and Civil Design Lead at Dow in Anchorage, and I'm the project manager for the Wasilla Comprehensive Plan. I'm here tonight to just give you an update on what we've been doing and answer any questions that you might have. So any good plan starts with a vision statement, and we have been working with the community at large as well as the steering committee and city staff to come up with the vision statement that you see here. Wasilla is a family-centered community that leads Alaska in responsible, innovative growth while preserving small-town values, supporting local opportunities, and enhancing quality of life. So this vision statement, as we go through and we develop objectives and implementation and goals, we look at this vision statement to make sure that they are aligned. So some of the community outreach that we've been doing since we kicked off the project last year was we've done presentations with the Wasilla Sunrise Rotary. We had a presentation at the Matsu Spring Economic Summit. We had a public open house to kick off the project and to work on visioning. We've done presentations with the we had flyers at the Matsu Home Show. We've had a public open house also focused specifically on the downtown area. We've done presentations with the Wasilla Chamber of Commerce and the Valley Board of Realtors. When we presented at the Chamber of Commerce, we also kicked off a public survey to get additional input. Through that work, we've developed a steering committee of approximately 13 people within Wasilla, from all different walks of life within Wasilla. So some people on the steering committee are new to Wasilla, while others have lived here for a long time and were actually involved in the 2011 comprehensive plan. We've had a series of meetings beginning in October. We were meeting bi-monthly. Sometimes those meetings were we're going over materials. Some of those are surveys or homework that we're giving the steering committee to get input on the visioning statement, as well as working on public facilities section, transportation, and economic development. Some of the things that we've heard so far related to those items are that, of course, there's a desire to have an understanding of the capacity of your utility infrastructure, not only to support what you currently have as far as development in the city, but for future development, where you might want to expand those utilities to support growth, maintaining your existing parks and trails, and then also providing public lake access. For transportation, there's a lot of concerns about safety related to access management. Having pedestrian connectivity, I think there's a recognition that it doesn't necessarily make sense to have connectivity throughout Wasilla, but certainly in key areas along Main Street, for example, or around the train depot. and then considerations for alternative modes of transportation and commuter options. For economic development, there's still a desire to have an attractive downtown, but maybe those boundaries look different. Maybe it's about placemaking, and other ways, or building off of the Main Street project, supporting an age-friendly community, and then also making sure that your transportation goals align with the economic development goals. So just a quick overview of the schedule. So we'll continue working with the steering committee. Our goal is to have another open house once we've drafted the goals, strategies, and implementation for the comprehensive plan and take those out to public input. From there, we would be drafting the plan, and that would again go out to the community, as well as we'd likely give you guys updates, as well as the planning commission, and then finally working towards adoption in the winter. I just ask that people realize that as we go through this, the public engagement piece is a little bit fluid, so the schedule may change, just to make sure that we get all the input that we need. So we do have a project webpage. It's wasilla2045.com. There's a link on the City of Wasilla's planning landing page to get to our project webpage. It's the best way to stay up to date on all that's happening. So there's summaries of our meeting minutes. There's all the existing planning documents that we are reviewing. Our next meetings are listed there. So it's a good place to keep track of what's going on the project. You can also email the project team at wasilla2045@dell.com if you have any questions or comments. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Graham?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you for the update. And looking at the vision statement, and I'm a bit not in alignment with the vision statement. Might be a good way to do that. Wasilla is a family-centered community, which is true, but we're also a very well-balanced community that realizes that our survival depends on retail. And I don't see anything in here that talks about that balance between, family values and retail values. I mean, we spend 70% of our time here at the council dealing with business issues and very few dealing with family issues. Not because we don't care about families, but because we make sure that families, aren't negatively impacted, by business, and likewise that business isn't negatively affected by residential development. I mean, is this the final take on the vision statement here, or?
It's the one we've been working with on the plan. I mean, there's certainly opportunities to continue to comment on the plan. The vision statement came about through, like I said, the open houses, working with city staff, working with the steering committee. But until we submit a draft plan to go through the entire adoption process, I mean, there's still opportunity to provide input and comments.
Let me ask that question differently. So will the committee re-look at this vision statement anytime between now and when the draft plan is published?
Are you saying the city council or the steering committee?
The steering committee.
The steering committee has been looking at the vision statement all along.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ian, do you have any questions?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we are now to Safe Streets for All project presentation. From the Matanuska-Susitna Borough representative on the Safe Streets for All.
is Jamie Taylor. I'm a civil engineer with the Matsu Borough in Public Works Department, and I am the Safe Streets for All project manager. And I'm here, Eric had asked me to give you some background on the Safe Streets and Roads for All grant program and about the grant that we have been recently notified that we were awarded. So the Safe Streets for All program was established through the bipartisan infrastructure law, and it provides financial support for planning, infrastructure, and projects to prevent death and serious injury on roads and streets for all roadway users. And the program funds regional, local, and tribal initiatives. I know that's not state or DOT is not eligible for these grant funds. And the program has $5 billion to be spent over 5 years, so from 2022 through 2026. In an effort to achieve Vision Zero, the Safe Streets for All program utilizes a safe system approach. And this approach is a shift from traditional or previous approaches. There are 5 principles and 5 objectives of the safe system approach. The USCOT website has a lot of information about it, but basically it's a more proactive and layered approach. It's kind of like the Swiss cheese model. If one thing doesn't stop a crash, then something else does or prevents it from being more serious. So the Matsu Borough received a planning grant in fiscal year 22 to develop a comprehensive safety action plan. And so we went through the whole planning process, and the Matsu Borough Assembly adopted the plan in April of last year. And by adopting the plan, the Matsu Borough Assembly committed to a long-term goal of reducing and eventually eliminating serious injury and fatal crashes. Part of the process to develop our safety action plan was public involvement. Our consultant put out a safety survey, and one of the themes that emerged from the survey responses was the need for more and better maintained places for pedestrians and non-motorized users. Our consultant also analyzed crash data that was collected between 2018 and 2022. That was the crash data that was available at the time. And so over that period, there were 216 fatal and serious injury crashes. And bicyclist and pedestrian crashes accounted for 7% of those serious crashes, but represented only 1% of road users. So bicyclists and pedestrians, also known as vulnerable road users, are overrepresented in the serious and the serious injury and fatal crashes. Crashes are concentrated in Wasilla, particularly along the Parks Highway, higher volume roads. That's just where they are, not necessarily anything to do with Wasilla itself. And then this slide shows the rate of fatal crashes per capita and per 100 million vehicle miles traveled as compared to communities with similar demographics and climate. And of the communities analyzed, the Matsu Borough has the highest rate in each category. So, having an adopted safety action plan with a goal to reach 0 serious injury and fatal crashes, makes the borough and the cities and tribes within the borough eligible to apply for an implementation grant. So we met with the city public works departments and decided it would be in our best interest to develop a joint application so that we wouldn't be competing against each other. And a group of projects were selected that focus on safety around schools for non-motorized users. In addition to benefiting students getting to school, improving the walkability to local schools, these projects will also improve the walkability within the city for everybody. So there are 6 projects. The first one is within the city of Wasilla. I'll go over that one a little bit more on the next slide. There's a couple projects within the borough outside of the cities. There's a project in the city of Palmer. And then there is an area-wide Safe Routes to Schools planning project, and then an area-wide no motor vehicle sign to be put on separated pathways and sidewalks where a lot of times we see ATV users or other motorized vehicle users driving. So within the city of Wasilla, there's kind of 4 separate projects. There's a separated pathway along Bogard Road, and it will pick up from the end of the Main Street project near the west entrance to Wasilla Middle School, and it will connect to Cruzy Street. And then the Wasilla Middle School sidewalks, there are currently no pedestrian sidewalks from Cruzy Street or from Bogard Road to the school doors. So that will add connections to both Bogard and Cruzy to Wasilla Middle School. West Point Drive will provide pedestrian access to the commercial area, restaurants, grocery store from Cruzy Street. And then one of the biggest part would be to reopen the pedestrian underpass from Newcomb Park to Railroad Avenue, which is on the other side of the Parks Highway and railroad tracks. Eric had shared with us that the Public Works Department staff has to keep it closed due to flooding and safety issues. And so the project will improve lighting, improve safety features, just cameras, and do some flood proofing or provide drainage improvements. And one of the things we noted is that pedestrians have cut an unpermitted trail across the railroad tracks, which is a huge safety concern. So reopening this underpass would be a huge improvement to the walkability and safety for pedestrians in the city. So next steps, we're still waiting to hear from the U.S. Department of Transportation, Federal Highways Administration on coordinating to execute the grant agreement. We do need to confirm sources of the non-federal cost share. So there's a 20% match required, non-federal money. The borough is providing that match for the area-wide projects and the projects outside the city. The city of Palmer is providing that match for the projects within their city, and we are hoping that the city of Wasilla will provide that match for the projects within the city. I can go over the costs of that project if you have any questions. And we will also need to coordinate with the cities and DOT to establish construction and maintenance agreements for the projects within the respective right-of-ways. And if you want to look into our website, ss4a.matsu.gov.us. There's lots of information about the safety action plan, and we will be adding information about the projects there as they develop further. And I would be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Mr. Johnson.
Madam Mayor, Mr. Jamie, thank you for your presentation. I'm very glad that the borough recognizes that we have some issues that need to be addressed. I think one of my biggest frustrations in my tenure here as a city council is I've identified several major issues that I think are safety, and I've tried to go to the borough and have talked to numerous people, and it seems like they fall on deaf ears even if the fixes are very simple. Who is it that we should be contacting, and how is it that safety issues should be raised to you and the borough so that we can make fixes?
I mean, we have our problem reporter, where safety issues can be identified. I guess, is it like a more systemic safety issues that you had questions about, or?
In general, the issues that I've had have been very specific, and seemingly the specific actions, although they would be very simple to take, just are falling on deaf ears within the borough. Very simple things like speed limits in school zones, and the issue with where the speed limit signs are placed causing total confusion to drivers driving through schools. I'll give you one example. You have a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit sign. 100 yards away is a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit sign, and 100 or 200 yards from that is the end of the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit sign. So where does somebody come? They come around the corner at 45 miles an hour, they see the 20-mile-an-hour sign, they slow down to 20. What do? They see the 35-mile-an-hour sign and speed up, only to realize they're still in a school zone. That's crazy. Move the signs. Okay, but that, I've gone 3 different places, and I wish I had their names to tell you that. That's just one example. Other examples are, we should have crosswalks where the students are obviously going across major roads to the school. Again, how much is it going to be to put crosswalk signs and stripes across something like the Wasilla Road, when you have lots of kids crossing that road to an elementary school? So it is, I would like to have you focus on some place where people can make their recommendations where they will be heard and actioned upon. I think that would go a long ways towards fixing some of the minor little issues. Thank you.
Go ahead.
So again, we do have problem reporter where if you have an issue with, if you think there are some signs that are not in the right place, you can drop a pin in problem reporter and explain the issue, and those requests go to me. Wasilla is a DOT road, so the borough doesn't have any say over where crosswalks can go, although I am part of the Safe Routes to Schools committee, which is made up of people from the borough, Public Works and Planning, and the school district, and DOT, and we talk, we're working on trying to standardize signage and things in school zones. If you let me know what road that 35-mile-an-hour sign is, I can look at it tomorrow when I get back to the office.
I think you just answered the question, in that there seems to be no coordination in between the borough and the state on a state road. We don't even know where the state roads are, assuming that they to be borough roads. So, again, there seems to be no real way of reporting safety problems to the right person to solve the problem.
So, on reporter, if you put in a request on a state road, it will get forwarded to the state. The state also has their own kind of reporting program, but if you don't know it's their road, then you don't know to go there. Also on problem reporter, the roads are color coded, so if it's red, it's a borough road. If it's purple, it's a state road. If it's, I think, orange, it's a city of Wasilla road. So again, I guess problem reporter would be the place to go.
Mr. Gray.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Jamie. Interesting presentation. On your slide, fatal crashes per capita, it says fatal crashes per capita and per 100 million vehicle miles traveled. Exactly how long does it take the borough to get to 100 million vehicle miles traveled? Because this says it's, average by year over a 5-year period.
Yeah.
Is that number of crashes in 1 year? Is that
so it
less than a year? I mean, that's a lot of miles.
Yep, so it would add up all of the miles that every single vehicle drives on roads within the study area.
And once again,
So
do we do 100 million vehicle miles in a year in the borough? I don't see it based on the study area that you had outlined there.
I guess I don't know how many, but we have 2.2 fatal crashes per 100 million vehicle miles, and we had 57 fatal crashes within the 5-year period. So I guess
Interesting, because the study area looked to be considerably smaller.
Yeah.
Interesting to know, because I know here in Wasilla, I think that First Highway, they really say on the weekend about 85,000.
I'm thinking about just taking off.
Okay, just let me know.
Yeah.
I don't know how many miles.
During the halftime, the break,
Thank you.
I was
Appreciate
gonna
your
take a
presentation.
packet, the complaint to each
Ian,
council
do you
member,
have any questions?
and then we can just leave after that.
Okay.
But I don't know when the break is.
Not at this time, Mayor.
Just let me know.
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, we will now hear from Melania Holgerson with McGrath Human Resource Group on the compensation and job classification study.
Good evening to the mayor and to council. My name is Melania Halverson Mays. I am a senior consultant with McGrath Human Resources Group. And this evening, what I would like to do is, I've developed a brief presentation that walks through a final report that we have developed for the city. Our focus for you for the last better part of, actually we started working with the city at the end of 2024, is to go through our recommended compensation and classification system for non-represented employees. I want to, just before we get started here this evening, I do want to just, a couple of the talking points that are outside of the study. First and foremost, thank you very much for having me. I have been doing this for 12 years nationwide, and I have been in Alaska and have helped serve other communities within Alaska along with the lower 48. And one of the things that I always appreciate is being able to come into the organization and visit the community and drive around and have like coffee from your wonderful coffee shops and really just take in the community, because that really helps me understand
It was the city clerk that said this is gonna be a long meeting. And if you look at the public comments, they're at the end of the freaking meeting. So it's not until like 11 o'clock that they're gonna let us talk.
Is that
I don't want to sit here
At the
for
end of the day,
fucking
my recommendations here
4 more hours.
Help support the organization
I got what I needed.
to be able to provide the
Got what I
programs and
needed.
services for your constituents. And I always try to
Huh?
keep that in mind. And
Yeah.
when I
Right.
get to come visit you, there's
And
just
besides,
this
we got good
human
content. Listen to what she said. I don't want to be
interaction
recorded.
that, we do this virtually.
Did you get
And I
permission
do
to
it
film in here?
virtually all the time,
That
but I
directly helps
absolutely
my
appreciate
case.
being able to come into your
Think about it.
wonderful community. I also have to give a big thank you
Because it's about
to
filming.
your
And she asked me if I could film in here.
staff,
Did you get permission?
to the
I don't need permission,
administration,
bitch.
all of your department directors.
You know?
As I walk through this process, you will see that this
Yeah.
is not necessarily
Yo,
done
I
in a
mean, I ran
vacuum,
out there.
but I
These
had
things stay on
information
really
that was
good,
provided
'cause
to
I was
me
running
from the
with
Yeah,
department
and
level
they'll
as well.
they'll pick up
And,
audio
it took
all the
a
way
lot
out
of
there.
time and commitment from those
Yeah.
department managers and also from staff to
Yeah, I
give
got
me
what I wanted.
additional information about their positions so that we could run analysis on that. So let's talk at a little bit of a higher level. Let's talk about classification and compensation and what exactly this is. You have an existing system, and we break it down into 2 different ways. First and foremost is your compensation. It is a system that is going to establish some, I call them the guardrails, a minimum to a maximum for each of your positions. And that is really going for what the market is paying for those types of students.
Yeah, dude, I got what I wanted. Just a second. We got bonus footage of both her saying, "Did you get permission?" We'll see about that.